Let me ask you something. How many hours have you already wasted this week? Be honest. Scrolling, procrastinating, doing things that don't actually matter. Now imagine this. If you keep wasting just 1 hour a day, in a single year, you'll lose 365 hours. That's over 15 full days of your life gone. The scary part? Most people lose even more than that. Time is the one resource you can never earn back. And yet, it slips away from us faster than anything else. But here's the good news. If you learn how to control your time, you can control your entire life. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how. Ladies and gentlemen, every single one of us has the same 24 hours in a day. But why is it that some people achieve extraordinary success, while others constantly feel like they're falling behind? The answer is simple. It's not about having more time. It's about how we use the time we already have. Time wasted can never be recovered. Every scroll through social media, every unnecessary distraction, every delay in starting, those are minutes, hours, and days we can't get back. But here's the good news. You don't have to live in regret. You can take control of your time today. If you want to stop wasting time and build a life you're proud of, then make these habits a part of your everyday routine. Start your day with clarity. The way you begin your morning sets the tone for the entire day. Most people wake up, grab their phone, scroll through notifications, emails, or social media. And before they even get out of bed, they're already reacting to the world instead of creating their own. That's how time slips away unnoticed. If you want to stop wasting time, you must start your day with clarity. Before you check your messages, before you dive into work, take just 5 minutes to decide what truly matters today. Write down your top 3 priorities, the 3 things that, if you accomplish them, will make the day feel like a success. Why only 3? Because your brain thrives on focus, not overload. A to-do list with 20 tasks might make you feel productive, but in reality, it scatters your energy. When you identify your top 3, you give yourself a compass, a clear direction that cuts through the noise and distractions of the day. Think about it. Without a plan, you'll drift. But with clarity, you'll take charge of your time. Starting with focus makes you proactive instead of reactive. It ensures that you don't just stay busy, you stay effective. So, tomorrow morning when you wake up, ask yourself, what are the 3 most important things I must accomplish today? Write them down. Look at them often. Let them guide your decisions. That single act of clarity could be the difference between another wasted day and a day of real progress. Use the power of the first hour. The first hour of your day is the most valuable. And yet, it's the hour most people waste without even realizing it. Think about how many mornings begin with checking social media, reading emails, or hitting the snooze button again and again. By the time you finally start your day, your mind is already cluttered with everyone else's priorities, not your own. But here's the truth. The first hour sets the rhythm for everything that follows. If you spend it distracted, the rest of your day tends to feel scattered. If you spend it with intention, you create momentum that carries you forward. That's why I call it the power hour. Use this first hour to work on something that truly matters, something that moves you closer to your goals. Maybe it's planning your day, exercising to energize your body, journaling to clear your thoughts, or tackling that important project you've been putting off. Whatever it is, make sure it's meaningful, not mindless. Science backs this up too. Your brain is sharpest in the morning, before distractions and decision fatigue set in. This is your golden window of focus. Don't trade it for scrolling through posts that won't matter tomorrow. Imagine the difference. One person spends the first hour lost in distractions, while another spends it making progress on their biggest goals. After a month, a year, 5 years, the gap between those 2 people is massive. One is always chasing time, the other is always ahead of it. So guard your first hour fiercely. Treat it like prime real estate, because that's exactly what it is. If you win the morning, you win the day. Apply the 80-20 rule. Here's a truth that can change your entire approach to time. Not all tasks are created equal. In fact, most of the things we do every day don't really move us forward. That's where the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, comes in. It says that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your actions. Think about it. In business, 20% of your clients usually bring in 80% of your revenue. In studying, 20% of the material often determines 80% of the exam questions. Even in daily life, 20% of the choices you make shape 80% of your experiences. But here's the problem. Most people spend their time drowning in the 80% of tasks that don't really matter. They stay busy with endless emails, low-priority errands, or work that looks productive but doesn't actually create results. Busyness is not the same as progress. If you want to stop wasting time, you need to identify your vital 20%, those high-impact actions that deliver the biggest results. Ask yourself, what are the few things I do that actually make a difference? What activities really push me closer to my goals? Once you know the answer, give those tasks your best energy and attention. This doesn't mean you should ignore the smaller tasks completely, but it does mean you shouldn't let them dominate your schedule. Handle them quickly, delegate them if possible, or set them aside until after your most important work is done. Imagine how powerful your life would become if, every single day, you focused on the 20% that mattered most. In just weeks, you'd start to see progress that others can't even imagine. Because success doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing the right things consistently. So here's your challenge. Identify your 20%. Write them down. Protect them with your time and energy. When you master the 80-20 rule, you don't just work harder. You work smarter, and that's how you win back your time. Schedule your breaks. One of the biggest misconceptions about productivity is that working nonstop equals success. We live in a world that glorifies hustle, late nights, early mornings, and grinding without rest. But here's the reality. The human brain is not a machine. If you don't give yourself time to recharge, your focus, creativity, and energy slowly burn out. That's why it's not enough to just work hard. You must also rest smart. And the key is to schedule your breaks with intention. Notice I didn't say take breaks whenever you feel like it. Because if you do that, you'll slip into distractions that steal hours of your day. Instead, plan your breaks in advance. Here's why it works. When you know you have a break coming up, your mind can stay focused during work periods. You're less likely to procrastinate because you trust that rest is already built into your schedule. And when you do take that break, it's guilt-free. You're not wasting time. You're recharging to perform at a higher level. Think about professional athletes. They don't train nonstop. They rest, recover, and allow their bodies to rebuild so they can perform better in the next round. The same is true for your mind. Strategic rest is not weakness, it's part of the formula for high performance. For example, many people use the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes of deep focus, followed by a 5-minute break. After 4 rounds, you take a longer 15 to 30-minute break. Others prefer a 90-minute work cycle followed by a 20-minute recharge. The exact system doesn't matter as much as the principle. Work hard, then pause with purpose. And here's the magic. When you schedule your breaks, you also schedule your productivity. You stop working aimlessly, and instead, you work in clear, focused bursts. You're sharper, more creative, and far more effective than if you tried to push through exhaustion. So remember this. Rest is not a waste of time. Rest is an investment in your time. Don't wait until you're drained and distracted to pause. Decide in advance when you'll step away, and then return to your work recharged, sharper, and ready to make progress. Eliminate time traps. One of the biggest reasons people feel like they never have enough time isn't because they're lazy. It's because their time is being stolen. Not stolen by other people necessarily, but stolen by time traps. What are time traps? They're the little habits and distractions that slowly eat away at your hours without you even noticing. Scrolling endlessly through social media. Checking notifications every few minutes. Binge watching just one more episode. Getting pulled into gossip or meaningless conversations. Saying yes to things that don't matter. These traps feel small in the moment, but they add up in a massive way. 10 minutes of scrolling here, 20 minutes of chatting there. Before you know it, you've lost hours that could have been invested in your goals, your health, your relationships, or your dreams. And here's the dangerous part. Time traps trick you into feeling like you're relaxing or being busy, when in reality you're just drifting. They drain your focus, scatter your energy, and leave you wondering at the end of the day, where did all my time go? So how do you eliminate them? First, identify your biggest traps. Be brutally honest with yourself. Is it your phone? Streaming platforms? Negative people? Write them down. Awareness is the first step to change. Second, set boundaries. If your phone is the problem, turn off non-essential notifications, use app limits, or put it in another room during focus time. If gossip distracts you, excuse yourself politely and redirect your attention. If meetings waste your time, ask, is this necessary? Third, Replace traps with intentional actions. Don't just stop scrolling. Decide what you'll do instead. Read a book. Take a short walk. Journal. Call someone who inspires you. Fill the space with something meaningful so you don't slip back into old habits. Remember, eliminating time traps isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Every hour you protect from distractions is an hour you can invest in what truly matters. Time is the most valuable currency you have. Don't spend it on things that don't give you a return. Cut out the traps, and you'll be amazed at how much time you suddenly find. Review and reflect daily. Most people live their days on autopilot. They go through the motions, doing task after task, but never stop to ask, did I actually make progress today? Did I spend my time wisely? Without reflection, days blur together, mistakes repeat, and opportunities slip away unnoticed. That's why one of the most powerful habits you can build is to review and reflect daily. At the end of each day, take just 10 to 15 minutes to pause, slow down, and look back. Ask yourself 3 simple questions. What went well today? What didn't go well? What can I do better tomorrow? This practice may seem small, but it compounds over time. By reflecting daily, you create a feedback loop that makes you more self-aware, more intentional, and more effective. You stop making the same mistakes over and over, and you start building on your successes. Think about it. Businesses hold performance reviews, athletes review game footage, musicians replay recordings to improve. Why shouldn't you do the same for your own life? If your life is the most important project you'll ever manage, then daily reflection is your personal performance review. Here's an example. Let's say you plan 3 priorities for today. During your reflection, you realize you only finished one of them because you got distracted by emails. That awareness is powerful. Tomorrow, you might decide to check email only twice a day, freeing up more time for meaningful work. That's progress. Reflection is not about beating yourself up. It's about learning. Some days will be great. Some days will be messy. That's life. What matters is that you extract the lesson from each day and use it to build a stronger tomorrow. And here's the best part. Reflection gives you closure. Instead of lying in bed replaying regrets or unfinished tasks, you acknowledge the day, capture the lessons, and reset your mind. You start the next morning with a clean slate, clear focus, and renewed energy. So make reflection non-negotiable. Write in a journal. Speak your thoughts out loud. Use a simple checklist. The method doesn't matter, the consistency does. Because when you review and reflect daily, you stop drifting through time and start directing it with purpose. Repeat with discipline. Here's the truth about success. It's not built on what you do once in a while. It's built on what you do every single day. One workout won't make you fit. One day of focus won't make you productive. One act of discipline won't change your life. But repeated daily, those small actions compound into something extraordinary. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. It's the habit of showing up, even when you don't feel like it. And that's where most people fall short. They wait for motivation. But motivation is temporary. It's unreliable. Some mornings you'll wake up excited, but many mornings you won't. Discipline is what carries you through the days when motivation fades. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't do it because it's exciting or dramatic. You do it because it keeps you healthy over time. The same goes for daily habits. Reviewing your priorities, protecting your first hour, applying the 80-20 rule, eliminating time traps. These might feel small in the moment, but repeated with discipline, they reshape your future. And here's the beauty. Discipline creates freedom. When you consistently manage your time, you gain freedom from stress, freedom from chaos, and freedom to spend your energy on what truly matters. Without discipline, time controls you. With discipline, you control time. Yes, it's not easy. There will be distractions. There will be days you fall off track. But discipline doesn't mean perfection. It means persistence. If you stumble, you get back up. If you lose a day, you reset the next morning. Discipline is simply the decision to keep going, no matter what. Remember this. Greatness is not achieved by giant leaps, but by small steps taken again and again. Ordinary actions, done consistently, create extraordinary results. That's the power of discipline. So commit today, not to being perfect, but to being consistent. Repeat the habits that matter. Repeat the choices that move you forward. Repeat them with discipline until they become second nature. Because when you do, you'll stop wasting time, and you'll start building the life you've always wanted.